Hello teacher and friends, my name is Nguyen Thi Thu Quynh. I'm from class K39 Translation and Interpretation. Today I'd like to introduce my project-based teaching plan for Unit 5, Study Abroad, Complete First Certificate. Firstly, I'd like you to have a look at my portfolio for this unit. The portfolio contains 5 main folders: Assessment, Student Sample, Student Support, Teacher Support, and Unit Plan. We shall begin with the unit plan. The unit overview provides a general understanding of the unit. In this unit, students will have to do some research into studying abroad. They will have to compose some questions asking for people's opinions on what reasons they choose to study abroad and some possible advantages and disadvantages of studying abroad. Also, the students will have to present their own opinions on this in their presentation file, which demonstrates the information that they collect from their online survey created using Google Doc form. The unit belongs to the field of education and language. It should be suitable for grade 9 students. At this age, students should be well aware of the importance of education in their life and may be considering going overseas to study. So, the unit is of great importance and great help for the student. The unit foundation contains 3 main parts. The first part is the targeted content standards and benchmarks. The FCE is actually for B2 level, so this unit is also for B2 level. Students can understand the main ideas of complex texts on both concrete and abstract topics and interact with a degree of fluency and spontaneity. Students can write clear, detailed text giving reasons in support of or against a particular point of view. Students show a relatively high degree of grammatical control and a sufficient range of vocabulary. When in a conversation, students can take their turn when appropriate, respond to a partner in a proper manner, and with certain command of spoken English. Throughout the unit, students will be able to understand more about studying abroad through their project, identify main ideas and questions and process them to find suitable answers accordingly. They will also be able to form nouns from verbs and use appropriate word forms where needed. Also, they can get gist and specific information in a recording. They can give reasons to answer questions when speaking, and finally can understand and correctly use conditional sentences. The essential question of the unit is, how important is study in making our life happy? And the subsequent unit questions is, the first one is it better to study abroad or to study in your hometown? And the second one is, what are some obstacles you may encounter when studying both at school and at home? When studying the unit, students will be able to answer all of these questions. Next, we shall move on with the assessment plan. There are 3 main important steps in assessing students' projects. The first step is to check students' background knowledge by presenting a Gaussian students' need presentation at the beginning of the unit. And then, during the project, I will regularly check upon students' progress and give them feedback for any adjustments. Also, this step includes the action of announcing the presentation scoring rubric and other scoring guides to the students. The last step, after the project has been completed, the students will have to self-assess, and there will be a class discussion so as to wrap up the whole unit. This is the assessment folder. There are 3 documents which I use to assess my students: a presentation scoring rubric, a quiz, and a self-assessment scoring rubric. I will talk about the 2 rubrics in this folder. This is the presentation scoring rubric, which contains 6 criteria. organization of the presentation, the subject knowledge, graphics, mechanics, eye contact, and elocution. And this is a self-assessment in group contribution. Also, the students will have to assess themselves on several criteria. The student samples. As I have said before, the final product of the project is a presentation file and must be in PowerPoint. So I made a sample presentation to show my students what they really have to deliver in their final product. Also, I created a sample survey form using Google Docs. The student support folder. In this folder, there will be several documents so as to aid the students with their studying. Here, there is one vocabulary list in which there are 20 words that appear in the unit, actually in the student book, and I asked the students to look up their meanings beforehand. Also, there is one word formation exercise to help reinforce the students' understanding of how to form nouns from verbs and also verbs from nouns. There is also one clip showing the students how to use Google Docs to create a survey. The teacher supports. The teacher supports folder contains 2 tracks that I use for the listening practice in my unit. Also, the teacher's book of complete first certificate is of great help. Also, I have to learn by myself how to analyze survey data using Google Form. I have to watch the clip so that I can help my student with the process of analyzing the data they have already collected. So, that is my unit plan for Unit 5, Study Abroad. Thank you for listening.